Hey everyone, I want to go over the Autodesk Certified User Inventor Practice Exam 1 training. So we'll kind of go step by step through the questions and we'll see if we can figure them out. But I think we're going to do okay. So whenever you start your test, this is the practice test, by the way, not the actual one. I will get in a lot of trouble posting the actual one and going over the answers on the YouTube for that, or wherever you might be watching this video. So I'm going to start my test here. Don't look at the time because it's not going to start at 0. See, so it'll tell you which file. It'll have you download some files to your computer firstly, and then it's going to tell you which ones you want to open up for each question. So it says Open View Cube IPT. So I'm going to click on this little folder here. I'm going to go to my View Cube and just double click it like so. We'll wait for it. And then back to the question. It says, use the View Cube to see the other side of the part. What is the length of the longest line? So I'm going to use the View Cube up here to kind of flip this little disc around. I'm going to go to the front view here. So it wants to know the length of this line here. So I'm going to go to, I can either go to Inspect or Tools, because you still get the little measure ruler thingy. So if I click this measure ruler thingy and click on the line here, it tells me that the length of that line is 166.000 inches. So go back to my question here. Notice that it's asking me in three decimals what that is. So I don't got to type in the decimals and all that gobbledygook afterwards. So it's only wanting 3, so 166. If you were to type in the 0.000, it would probably count it wrong, and I'm almost 100% sure it would count it wrong. So just make sure you look and see what the answer is kind of looking for over here. So 166, and then you don't got to type in the inches part. I'm going to hit next. And so we got the check mark. So that means you got it correct. Yay, we're off to a good start. I'm going to click on continue. So this one says open up view management. So I'm going to get out of this one here. I'm going to file, close. I'm going to go up here to open. I'm going to look for view management. And then this one says, ignore that answer there. It says change the ground plane settings. Add 10 millimeters to the minor grid display. So to get to the ground plane settings, I'm going to go up to view. And then you see ground plane here. I'm going to click the arrow to the right of it. And then go into my settings. So here's my grid display. My minor grid display is 20 millimeters. So if I add 10 to it, it says add 10 millimeters, then what is the new setting? So if I add 10 to 20, that's going to be 30 millimeters, right? So I don't actually have to do it there. That'll, make extra time for you. So I'm just going to type in 30 here because it's looking for 2 digits, right? And then hit next. And yes, we got that right. So then, ignore this. Ignore that answer. You didn't see that? Okay, so for this, I'm going to close out of this one. I'm done with it. This one says open up the sweep IPT. So I'm going to go to open, sweep here. This one's a little tricky. It says create a cross section for the sweep using the spline. So, and then it says the cross section is 0.25. Sweep the circle along the path. What is the surface area? All right, so all we're going to do is we're going to sweep the circle along this path here. So I'm going to go up to the sweep. And just make sure that you want to have the orientation. The middle one I found, the middle option gives you that little kind of curvy thingy. It looks kind of like a cut off piece of water hose. So our profile is going to be that circle, and the path is going to be that spline. And then you click that middle section there, and then it extrudes it down the path for you. I'm going to hit OK. So to find the cross section, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to where it says sweep here, and I'm going to right click on it and go to where it says eye properties. And then I'm going to go over to the physical tab. I'm going to hit the update because right now there's no numbers here. I'm going to update, and then you get the area here. So the area is 1.859. And then I'm going to go back to here. It says the surface area is 1.859. And then hit the next. And then we got the check mark. So that one's a little bit tricky trying to figure out where to find the area. So hit OK. And the next one says open assembly constraints. And again, I'm going to delete this answer that I did previously. All right, so I'm going to close out of this. Save it. No. It says open assembly constraints. So open assembly constraints. Boom. It's going to have us, it says, let me close this thing here first. It says, constrain the two components, make the relationship from the base of the bolt to the base of the nut, no offset. And then it wants to know what's the distance of this whole part that sticks out. So I'm going to go up to here. I'm going to go to constrain. I'm going to use the insert, and I want to do, I think that's what I want to do. I want to do, so I want to constrain this inside circle to that circle there. It clunks it in. Let me go back here. Then I'm gonna go to apply. And then I'm gonna look at the front view. So what I want to know is how much is sticking out here. So I'm gonna go to my tools with my little ruler here. I'm gonna click this. Let me do this. Let me click this face here, and then this face here. And then that tells you that the part that's sticking out is 0.787. So 0.787. So that's, make sure that your answer matches up what's over here. So hopefully we got this right. Next. Yay, we did it. All right, I'm gonna hit continue. This one here is also a little, it gave me a little bit of, a hiccup, but because I don't do this way a lot, but let me close out of this first. Save it, no. I'm going to open assembly creation. Open assembly creation here. And then it says, create a part to fit the top surface of the block and cover the holes. The plate should fit the entire surface of the mating part and be 0.25 inches thick. So the problem is that we're already in a assembly file. So how do we create a new part within an assembly file? So I'm going to go up to where you see the create here. And then it's going to give me a part name. I'm okay with that part name. I have nothing to do here. Just hit OK. And then I'm going to click on this top surface. And then now it's kind of like a regular creating a part. So I'm going to go up to Start 2D Sketch. I'm going to start 2D Sketch. I'm going to click on the face here. This is where I'm going to create that part. So then I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So I'm going to use the project geometry. So I'm just going to basically just kind of copy this outer perimeter of this that's already there. And then I'm going to finish my sketch. And then I'm going to extrude this up by, what were they asking for? They want it to, it should be 0.25 inches thick. So I'm going to change this, 0.25, hit OK. And then it wants you to fill at one of the corners. one vertical edge, 2.25 inch radius. So I'm going to go up to the fillet, if I can find it here, fillet. Make sure this says 0.25. And then I'm just going to click one of the vertical edges here, like so, hit apply. And then I'm going to find out what the area of this kind of top surface is. So I'm going to go up to my tools, measure. I'm going to click on this face here. And then it says the area, is it asking for the area? Surface area, yeah. So it's going to be 47.987. 47.987. 0.987. Just make sure that you type in kind of what you see here, because if you may know how to do it, but if you type in the wrong number, it's going to count it wrong. So 47.987. Just double check, triple check, and then we're going to hit next. Cross our fingers. Okay, we got it. All right, so there's that one. All right, so again, ignore the answer here. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to close this drawing out here. I'm not going to save it. No. And then it says we want to open project center lines drawing, or project center line. Wait, I don't want that. Wait, what did I just do? I'm going to go to open project center lines. Not that one. Yeah, that's it. Drawing. Yeah. Okay, then it says finish the drawing by adding center lines and dimensions. What is the dimension in inches of the center line from the bottom edge of the plate? So if I add center lines, I'm going to go to annotate, and then I'm going to look for the center lines, which is that center mark, but center line is here. So I'm going to click on the center line of this to the center line of that. And then it wants to know what is the distance between this center line to the bottom. So I'm gonna wait. What happened there? What just happened there? Let me do this again. Center line here. Yeah, I just clicked off of it. I think I hit escape last time. And then I'm just gonna figure out what is the distance. So let's see. That may not work. I may wanna add a dimension here. So dimension from here to here. That's 3.50. So down here, I'm gonna type in. So it's only asking me for 2 digits, so I'm gonna go 3.5 instead of the 3.50. And then hopefully hit next. We got it. Yay, we did it. So I'm gonna go to the next one. I'm gonna cancel out of this. I'm going to close. I don't want to save it. Oh, again, ignore that. All right, so we're going to open plate.dwg. I'm going to open plate. So I want to make sure I open the drawing, not the part file. So open up this drawing. Then it says, create a detail view on the right side of the drawing field. By default, what is the view identifier for the first view created on the drawing? So create a detail view. I'm going to go up to where you see detail here. And then I'm going to click on this kind of area here. See how the little red marching ants around it? I'm going to click there. And then the view identifier is A. So that's what they're looking for. What is the view identifier for the first view created? It's going to be capital A. I'm going to go to next. Yay. Continue. This one looks familiar. I'm going to go to open pattern IPT. So I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to close. I'm going to open up this view. What was it? No, I can't remember. It said open up, open pattern. Open pattern, this one. Open pattern. Create a circular pattern using the center hole as the axis of rotation. A circular pattern. And then a circular pattern. All right, so we're going to create a circular pattern here. Circular pattern. So I'm going to circle pattern this hole. And then I need to know the axis, so I'm going to click on this. Wow, that's a lot of gobbledygook there. Click here. I'm just going to click this circle. So I clicked on the rotation axis arrow. I'll click on the circle here. And then I want to get, is that what I wanted to do? Oh, yeah. But I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 8 of these here. Hit OK. And so it creates those. And it says, what is the distance between the centers of 2 adjacent holes? So I'm just going to go up to my little tool, measure. I'm going to go from one hole to the next. And then that's 73.093. 73.093. 73.093. Cross our fingers. Yay, we got that one. We're doing good. All right, so open rib IPT. Let me get rid of this. Open rib. Let me close out of this. I don't want to save it. No. I never want to see you again. That's what she said. No, I'm kidding. Open. What was I doing? I got distracted. Open rib. Open rib here. That one. Then create a rib from the sketch provided. Add the dimensions for a draft of 5 degrees. So we're going to create a rib. I don't create ribs a lot, so I'm going to create a rib. Where is the rib? It is here. Okay, here. I'm going to create a rib. And so I kind of already did that for me. I'm going to go to where you see draft. Wait, is our thickness going to be the same? Yeah, keep all the other default dimensions. So add a dimension for the draft of 5 degrees. So I'm going to go to the draft tab. This is going to be a 5-degree angle. I'm going to hit OK. And it says, what is the surface area of the rib? So the surface area of this side here, I was going to say side piece, but that's kind of sketchy. I'm going to go to tool, measure. Oh, so that is, I'm looking for the surface area, which is going to be 10.822. 10.822. 10.822. Cross your fingers. Oh, yeah. I was kind of worried about that. We did that right. Okay, cool. Open up the shell. Let me get rid of this. Open up the shell IPT, but first, I'm going to close out of this. Open up the shell. Don't want to save it. No. Open the shell. I like doing shells. They're fun. Shell the part to 0.25 wall thickness. What is the area of the tiled surface area? Shell the part to 0.25. It looks like it has a top off of it too, right? Shell the area. So shell, I forgot the thickness already. 0.25. So here's 0.25. It didn't say to remove the top, but I'm going to remove the top. And then we hit OK, because that way we can get into and see what that is. So what is the area of the tiled surface? So what is the area of this? I'm going to click on the measure. So the area of that is 9.625. 9.625. Hit next. All right. I'm going to stop the video there. I got 10 of them, right? So this video is almost 20 minutes. It will be over 20 minutes. So I'm going to stop there, and then we'll continue with the next 10. in the next video. So I hope that's helped so far. All right, so I will see y'all back